There's something about small towns that fosters close connections between people. The air feels a little lighter, the streets quieter, and the stars shine a little brighter, as if watching over the lives below. In the small town of Maplewood, friendships were usually forged in childhood, often lasting a lifetime. However, the friendship between Sophie and Marcus was anything but typical. Sophie Monroe was a firecracker. She was the kind of person who walked into a room, and suddenly, everyone noticed. With her curly auburn hair, lively green eyes, and a sharp sense of humor, she could command the attention of any crowd. Despite her infectious energy, she often found herself feeling out of place in Maplewood. She had big dreams that felt too large for the small town. Growing up, she had always imagined herself living in New York or London, traveling the world, and writing books about her adventures. But life had a funny way of holding her down, with responsibilities piling up, especially after her father fell ill. On the other hand, Marcus Delaney was quiet, almost to the point of invisibility. He had lived in Maplewood his entire life, and didn't mind its slow pace. He found comfort in routines, in the familiar rhythm of small-town life. He worked as a mechanic at the local garage, and his world revolved around engines, tools, and fixing things that were broken. He had always been a man of few words, more comfortable communicating through his work than with people. If anyone had ever called him introverted, Marcus wouldn't have argued. He had few friends, none close enough to share his inner thoughts with, but that didn't bother him. He preferred solitude. Their paths might never have crossed in a meaningful way, if it weren't for the accident. It was a Friday evening, just as the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over Maplewood. Sophie had been driving her old, beaten-up car, a hand-me-down from her father, when it suddenly sputtered and died on the outskirts of town. She cursed under her breath, frustrated by the inconvenience. Her phone had no signal, and she had no idea what was wrong with the car. After checking under the hood and realizing she was completely out of her depth, she decided to walk to the nearest garage for help. That's when she met Marcus. When Sophie arrived at the garage, Marcus was just about to close for the night. He looked up, surprised to see someone approaching, especially at that hour. "Hey, do you think you could help me? My car broke down a mile or so back," Sophie said, wiping sweat from her brow and trying to hide her exasperation. Marcus gave her a once-over, noting her tired expression and disheveled appearance. "Sure," he said simply. He grabbed his toolbox and followed her back to the car without another word.